The 7th Star Performer Award goes to Praveen J. I request ex-Saravanan to come over and collect the award on behalf of Praveen J.
I want to acknowledge the efforts of Praveen. He's been a real backbone for the quality demos which we have done. You name any demo, FICO part, Praveen's involvement will be there. And despite his project pressure, the immense efforts he contributed for pre-sales. Thanks a lot, Praveen. Congrats.
You know this guy named Praveen? He was worked with me in a project called ACC. You know, when he started a presentation at the first time to the client asked me, is this guy is going to handle the treasury management with ECNO application? I don't think so. Then suddenly he started his presentation. At the end of the presentation, I got the feedback from Mr. Resni. He is one of the very talented guy from the client side. And he asked, he did a very good job. You know, I never expect this young birds to have more knowledge. So this guy is also a wanted guy from the operation department. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
The same thing happened with another client called BFIM, where Marun and Praveen did the presentation, and Praveen did the PS presentation. Even the PS consultant would have not done such a presentation and demo.
Yes. Now, if you are wondering where these consultants are, Praveen, Venkat, Kishore, since they are on the most wanted list, they have been held as a captive at the restaurant right now. You can applaud for that also, guys.
As Param already pointed out, I have not seen another functional consultant in such an young age who has the fantastic grip of the entire spectrum of an organization and the thorough grip of various modules interfaces within the domain of SAP. His basics are absolutely strong and thorough. He really impresses me, and he is one of those guys whom I really salute for the knowledge he brings and also the ever-ready attitude. No matter what, no matter when, he's always ready. Especially if you remember, for the Benjamin, I have to talk about this. After 2 days of sleepless nights, at 4 o'clock in the night we go to sleep because at 8 o'clock in the next day morning we have to continue the demo. This guy, he goes back to his home, opens his laptop again, he finds fine fixing of the last mile he did from 4:30 till 7:30, and then he came for the demo at 8 o'clock. This guy is amazing stamina. And I haven't seen such staminas with people, and he's one of those guys who carries that. Kudos, Praveen, good job.
The next award goes to Rajagopal S.
Anyone wants to talk about Rajagopal, the shortest person at KAAR Technologies?
I have few words for Rajagopal. Rajagopal is always passionate about exploring about more into SAP. He's continuously he's continuously doing certifications in across areas in SAP, and now I see him working on weekends for the offshore pre-sales help that need him, and he's my roommate in Saudi as well. So I see him always working on helping DMAC team in conducting interviews and helping Param in doing pre-sales activities, fixing up issues in other projects. So this guy is definitely he deserves this award better. Definitely.
Yes.
Rajagopal, like when he started, he had very little knowledge of basis, but the pace at which he has learned and the learning that happened during the Salcom presentation is amazing. I never thought he would have the guts to step up to it and accept to do the entire data center piece all with Maran. So the learning that happened during those 2 months, and even now anything that you give it to him, he sits through the weekend, this weekend, and then make sure he fixes it for us. Thanks, Raj.
I also need to say a few words. Excuse me if I'm talking too much, but then these guys have done such a wonderful job. I can't resist myself from telling this. I worked with him very closely in one of the projects called Salcom. And that was a very short period, but the way he learned and raised up to the expectations of the delivery, this was not about basis at all. This was about complete data center, completely unknown elements. Within a short period of 1 month or 2 months, he tremendously increased his learning, and he amazed all of us in terms of how much one can learn in such a short span of time. He did a wonderful job. Great job, Rajagopal. Keep going.
Next award goes to BaskaranDevaraj. Param to come over and take the award on behalf of Bhaskar.
That's Param, ladies and gentlemen. For 3 years, 3 years. He pretty much used to be a person on P&M contracts. The best thing about him is a high caliber person, capable of doing lots, pretty heavyweight in terms of what he can bring to the table in terms of architecture, technology. Amazing fellow. There are only few guys in the company who can think at his level. He's a good person to work also. Good job, Bhaskar. George!
I worked with Bhaskar, in fact, Param, myself, Ratna, Bhaskar. We did the ALEM clarifications and the preparation for the RFP for ALEM. It was such a huge task. What was thrown before us was not simple. It was one of the most complex RFPs that I've ever worked. And Bhaskar's support there was really tremendous. It's just nothing short of amazing. The amount of data that we had to chew and what had to come out in about 3 to 4 days was really big. Really, really big. Bhaskar, I think you deserve this in all respects.
The next award goes to Babusigh. Sukumaran to come over and collect the award on behalf of Babusigh. Would you like to have a few words for him?
Babusigh is another guy who,
By the way, he's from Punjab, Babusingh.
ஒரு தூய தமிழன் தான். So he is one guy who never gives up. He always stretches beyond his limits. I should really tell one instance. We worked for the JAL demo earlier this year, and there was no functional team, no experienced functional team here in offshore at that time. So everybody was on-site busy, and he came for his personal thing for 2 weeks. And but despite his personal thing, and he also had the goal line pressure from Tusney, and one side Thiago will be pressuring him like anything. And despite all that, he after 9 o'clock he started preparing the demo, and till 2:33 every day he was there with us and made the demo successful. And really thank Babusigh and congrats.
Guys, people have really sweated out.
Yes.
They have really sweated out. They've toiled. They've gone 1,000 extra miles to deserve this and to go there. So the least we can all do is give them a big shout. Not only now, not only for this, but for everyone. Yeah, we need to do some exercise. Go, please. Warm up your hands. You can come back. Go, there is an oil out there. You can apply oil on your hands. But please, we need to give it to them. They deserve it, and we need to give it to them in the loudest possible way. That's the thanks we say to them for the larger good that they worked for. It's not their self-good. Please remember, whoever is deserving this award, whoever is getting this award, has not worked for himself to deserve this. He has worked for the larger interest, for you and me and for everybody else that they worked for this. So they deserve much more loud noise from us than what we are giving to them. I hope you will reciprocate this to them.
It is their day of honor, so I think they deserve all this. Babu this is one guy who's got an amazing attitude. His attitude is really amazing. I've had the chance of working with him on a couple of demos and clarifications and the entire RFP cycle. And not even once, I think Param would also agree, not even once we've seen a slack in the attitude. He's a guy who comes forward almost instantaneously to help. That's been a very great help with the sales and the pre-sales team. Babu, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot again.
I have worked with Babu a minimum period of time, maybe 1 or 2 months. But during this period of time, and the department, PM department, which I'm working with Aramco for the past 3 years, they are the guys who really give a tough time to the contractors. For the first time in Aramco's PM history, this is the guy who gave a hard time to the PM department. I'm sure he is the most important guy by the PM department, and for sure he is going to bag us more projects from the same department.